Welcome back, guys. Want to check out some cool chokes from the knee shield, half guard, or the Z guard? Follow the full video on YouTube. We're back in the gi, guys. I'm going to show you some chokes from the Z guard or the knee shield, half guard. We have a video on both these guards. They're just variations of the same thing. It's all half guard. In the Z guard, we're controlling more of my opponent's hip, and in the knee shield, half guard, it's more of their upper body as well. Whichever you choose, check out the full videos on the system and the concepts. Today we're going to look at some chokes in the gi from here. Yeah, all these chokes can also be applicable in close guard. I might refer to that a few times, but we're going to work from the knee shield half guard now. Now we're going to start off basic. We've seen in our Z guard video when we can control the overhook on my opponent's close side arm, like so. Now in no gi, I wasn't curling because I would tire out my muscles. I was more flexing it on my thigh and putting pressure on the backside of his shoulder. And in the gi, I could grab my own lapel, yeah, so I can just squeeze in the grip instead of the bicep and get less tired. Now, the difference we're going to do today, main thing is, I highly recommend checking the full Z guard video, is how to block this crossface. It's going to be our main objective. But the other thing, when he's wearing gi, so we can control his lapel. Now I'm going to go with the close side. Yeah, I'll just open it up. I'm going to go with the far side. Now if I try to reach, you can see it's pretty hard for me to get a hold of that lapel. And especially, I could grab it, but I'm never going to choke him. So what I'm going to do, as I have that crossface, yeah, finding that crossface here, as I have that overhook, I'm going to open the gi, yeah, and pass it through. Now instead of my hand reaching up, I myself am going to do like a little bit of a sit-up and pick it up. And now you see it's tight on his neck. That's where I want to be, controlling the far side lapel. Now if he pulls the arm out, it's stuck, I have control. If he leans all the way back, we're going to go into omoplatas, but one more time, that was the Z guard video in no-gi. So there we're going to look at the chokes. Now from here, as I control the lapel close to his neck, my second hand is going to reach. Now I'm not going to go underneath for a cross collar choke, yeah, because it's pretty hard to get in here, and also it's pretty obvious what I'm doing. What I want to do is I want to control this fold in his gi there. Whoever you're rolling with, there will always be a fold in the gi here on top of his shoulder. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to reach for that with my fingers up, control it, flex my wrist here, and turn my elbow underneath his chin and squeeze there for a very nice choke with the overhook. Usually this is just like one of my first go-tos, and he will start defending, maybe working with his second hand, because that's the only hand he has to fight the grip, which I'm then going to control, work towards triangles or whatever, or sweeps with the overhook. So many things to do from here. If you can get the choke, that's cool. Yeah, you can also use this in close guard. It's really cool. In close guard it's also better because if my partner feels me trying to go for the cross collar, even so without the overhook, it doesn't really matter. Usually they're preventing me from going underneath. Even if he puts his head all the way down, yeah, I'm not gonna go for the cross collar here. If I'm trying to reach over now, hold your head tight. It's hard for me to get the angle, so hold your head very tight. I can always use my hip thrust to bridge his head to the opposite side, go in, choke, or just push the elbow in and choke from there. So it's a basic choke mechanic here. It's called like an overhook lapel choke. That was the first one to start off with. Now, next off, yeah, we're gonna do some different chokes. Now usually, when I'm framing here, with the first one my grip was 4 fingers in. And now we're going to use a different grip because we're in knee shield half guard. I'm framing on his posture like I would in no-gi. If my thumb is up, yeah, my elbow is very weak. If he puts his right shoulder to the mat, it's bending, you see? So that's a very weak grip. My elbow is down, my thumb is up, and my elbow bends. So the better grip would be thumb down, elbow up. If he now starts putting pressure, my elbow frame is stronger. Now, as we've seen in our knee shield half guard video, or even in the Z guard, if he really wants to push down on that, it will always open me up for the underhook, which is my preferred grip to go into dogfight. So this frame with the elbow is very different as opposed to this frame with the elbow. Yeah, I want you guys to understand that. So this is a good grip for choking, but the frame is bad. Now this is a good frame, but the grip will be different. So what we're going to do is I'm going to frame reinforce my knee shield here, and I'm going to go thumb in, and my hands are going to be high on his neck. So I have a grip here to choke, yeah, but I have this strong elbow frame. I'm going to do a few chokes from here. This first one is my favorite, yeah, to bully blue belts with, but it's just going to be simple. I'm going to open up his jacket on the same side. And I'm going to control the point of the jacket like I'm holding an ice pick, like shanking it with an ice pick. Here we call this the ice pick, and if we're downwards, it's a prison shank. So I'm controlling this. Now there's not much slack in the jacket to choke him. So what I'm first going to do is I'm just going to shake it out and open the jacket like so. Now I have some more reach with the gi jacket. One more time, usually just with the previous choke, he's going to start in grip fight, he's going to react, which always starts giving me this hand to wrestle up or to sweep or whatever. If not, we're controlling here. Now as he's pushing into my knee shield, I'm gonna wrap this around his head as I come up with a sit-up and kick my leg through, which is giving up my knee shield. So I want you guys to be aware of that. The grip is high. I'm gonna kick him up, loop over, and bring my elbow around his neck to choke him there with this ice pick choke. So it's looping over, my elbow is in, bridge up, flex my wrists, choke him there with this ice pick choke. One more time, also something we can do from close guard. Now, next up, and now you see the problem. The problem with this one is in the defense. As I'm here, I have zero control of that crossface. So as I'm wrestling up, trying to choke him, maybe he will crossface and pass me. So I'd rather have this hand free, and it's also hard for me to sit up just using my abs and my core strength. So instead of holding this jacket, let's just safely tuck it in for Sandro so he looks better dressed for today. You're welcome, buddy. Now I'm gonna wrestle up with my elbow. I'm not gonna go to the elbow. It's giving you the crossface. Reach over for the guillotine. Please check the Z-guard video. I'm circling my arm out as I'm coming up and I'm basing behind me. Now I'm also sitting up higher than Sandro. I'm gonna flare that elbow high around his neck, reaching over with this hand as I'm basing up and inserting it behind my elbow for a loop choke. Now I'm flexing my wrist and turning towards my right side to choke him with the loop choke. It's a basic loop choke, you guys might know it. It can also be applied in open guard or closed guard, whatever, yeah? So the loop choke. Now, wrestling up, loop choke. If you cannot reach the elbow, because it's good to have the choke deep, but my elbow doesn't pop out behind his head, look guys, I'm just gonna slide down an inch, and then my elbow can get higher. You see that? So if you're having trouble reaching or you think you have short arms, you don't. Just slide down a little bit. If you slide down too much, the choke will be loose on this side. You can see there's space between his gi and his neck. So start in tight, and if you cannot reach the elbow, just slide down an inch, insert it here, turn to your side and flex your forearm across his other artery for the loop choke. So we have this overhook choke, we have this ice pick choke, and my favorite here with this frame strong, wrestling up from here, leaping over, and go for this loop choke on the side. That's a really good choke. These are the basic lapel chokes we're using. And the final tool we're gonna do is just a reference to an old video we have is the baseball choke. Now in the baseball choke, you could opt to go this side, then get your leg out, turn in, and baseball choke them. But you see that's giving up the armbar here and back exposure. So the better side would be in Z-guard or knee shield half guard is to go with the baseball choke belly down, which might seem a bit weird. So we're gonna be here and I'm gonna let this go and bring this elbow in as I now choke him. Yeah, watch the mic here and go belly down, choke him here with this baseball choke. When I'm doing that, look, my knee is still in the Z-guard. So if I mess up, so break out of the choke and then pass me, I still have pressure here and re-guard, okay? I'm not gonna go full depth in the baseball chokes, but let's just keep it with that today, guys. So an overhook lapel choke, a ice pick choke with the gi wrap, and that loop choke there, some baseball chokes. I think the coolest part is understanding that the frame, that this is good grip, but the elbow frame is weaker in half guard, which is a different position in close guard. So framing thumb down, yeah, play around with that. Hope you guys liked it. Thank you, Sandro. See you the next one. Oes.